And welcome back on this Wednesday morning. It feels like Thursday though, actually, because we don't have a Friday this week. But 69 degrees out there this morning. Already we're going to see temperatures around 87 today. Some sunshine, only 10% chance of those showers. Looks like tomorrow's the bigger day for rain, or actually Friday. I'm sorry, not Thursday, but Friday. 30% tomorrow, and then it jumps up to 40% on Friday. 40 to 60% that is. And over the weekend we could see some showers. Hopefully it won't rain out any of your plans for Labor Day weekend. JC?
Oh, by the way, the Terry reunion is in Moulton this weekend. They've been doing that forever.
Terry reunion.
Terry, they have one every year. Don't
everywhere.
forget the Coondog Cemetery has their annual thing, Labor Day weekend too, way over there in the sticks.
I bet there's a big old crowd with Terry's on.
Oh, it is. They have it every year. Hundreds of people. And politics, a lot of politicians usually go there. What you talking about today, Roy?
Go Romney, go. Did I say that?
Yeah.
You said it.
Let me stop. 10% off down at Urban and More each and every Wednesday. Mention anything about the program today, you get 10. I said we're still doing that.
We are.
10% off down at Herbs and More. So, all right, Roy.
First Monday coming up. Remember first Monday, 30% off.
So y'all are open on Labor Day?
No. So it's the first Tuesday this time.
We need to clarify that because that's a big day. 30% off all except y'all's product.
Yeah.
Are you doing it Tuesday?
We are going to do it Tuesday. It'll be the Tuesday instead.
So
of
you're
Monday.
closed Monday.
We are closed Monday.
Okay, I just want to get that clarified.
I'm glad you did because I'd forgotten about it being Labor Day. Labor Day means you work, right?
Supposed to, right?
No, you're supposed to take off because of your labors out there. It's the end of summer officially.
Yeah.
But how do we stay in shape?
Summer's over.
Well, you know, the big problem today, and I brought a book, Conquering Diabetes by Dr. Ann Peters. And it's a really interesting book. A friend of mine brought it to me, and he said, I bought this for 90 cents. I thought you'd like it. And I said, yeah. And I said, it's written on the front of book. I said, why did they do it? He said, I don't know. I bought it from Tennessee. That I can tell you. So I well, that's just not right to say something like that. But this book, Ann Peters is talking about diabetes and that it's preventable. Not talking about type 1 now. We're talking about type 2 diabetes, which 85% of all the diabetes in America is type 2. And we've got to get it under control, and I'm going to tell you why. Between obesity and diabetes, it's going to bankrupt America. Let me give you an example. Right now in America, we've got 25 million full-blown diabetics.
How many?
25 million full-blown diabetics. But that's what's crazy is that's costing us almost $200 billion a year to treat that one disease.
Sure.
$200 billion. Now here's the real kicker, y'all. Listen to this. 79 million Americans are already what's called pre-diabetic. Now you add the 25 million that's full-blown diabetic to 79 million that's pre-diabetic, that means in 3 to 5 years there's going to be fully 1/3 of America is going to be diabetic, and it's going to cost us $600 to $800 billion
How do we afford that?
a year. We can't afford it. I mean, it's just this simple. That means for every American in the United States, your taxes has to go up by about 23% just to afford diabetes if Obamacare stays in place, because that means the government, which is the taxpayer, pays for it. It's an insanity. But what she's saying in here is she treats all kinds of patients, from young women who are struggling to give themselves 5 daily insulin injections a day, to older people who are trying to walk 4 miles a day or fighting blindness or dialysis. I'm telling you, it's a sad disease in that, you know, if the disease itself don't destroy your life, then the medication ends up giving you neuropathy, kidney failure, and blindness. And you know, if you don't have the medication, though, you die. I mean, it's a really sad situation. But the point I'm getting across today here, and what she's trying to tell us in the book, is type 2 diabetes is preventable. It's preventable, and she says reversible. Now, no doctor wants you to ever believe that. And you go, why wouldn't the doctor want you to believe that you can reverse type 2 diabetes? Because they make money off sickness. They don't make a penny if we don't get sick. How many of y'all just love, I ask people all the time, how many of y'all just love to go to the doctor? Can't wait. Boy, can't wait to go visit my doctor again. Get to sit in that waiting room for 2 or 3 hours and wait on them to get to me even though my appointment was early.
Reading old magazines.
Yeah. And then what happens? You get in there and they tell you, escort you into a room, some nurse does, and she weighs you and probably takes your blood pressure and then tells you to take your clothes
You've been to
off.
my doctor.
And ain't that fun? And then what do? They go in there and
Sit
do
in there for another hour.
crazy things and look down your throat and in your eyes and not mention other parts of the body they want to check out sometimes. It's just
Cough, Roy, cough, Roy, cough.
Yeah. Nobody wants to go to the doctor, but yet we go all the time. Why? Because if we don't, we feel like we're going to die. That's what they scared us into believing. It's nuts. I ain't been to a medical doctor, by the way, voluntarily in 29 years. I don't go, y'all. Sorry. It's funny. I'm still alive, isn't it? How's that possible?
How old's your dad?
90. My dad's 90. He don't go much either, except here lately he had a kidney stone. Oh my goodness, at 90, a kidney stone. It's never good, but I felt so sorry for him. She says here, in fact, most doctors, she's talking about doctors now, most doctors don't know a lot about treating diabetes. So it's up to you to gather as much knowledge as you can if you have or are at risk for diabetes. Now, what's the risk? Listen to this. 1 out of every 3 children born in the United States will develop diabetes in their lifetime. But it's even worse. The numbers increase to 1 in 2 if the child is Latino or African American.
Wow.
They're more likely to develop diabetes than we are. And yet she goes on to say, I can't stress this enough, it's preventable. Type 2 diabetes is preventable.
Did you read any more in the first 2 pages of that book? Or, I mean,
I've read quite a bit more, but she stuck it right there at the front. She nailed it. And what can you do? Well, obviously exercise is important. I mean, I can't stress enough for you to just take a 20-minute walk 3 to 4 days out of every week. 5 would even be better if you're diabetic. You got to force the body to burn some of that sugar so that you can keep those levels down. But take MSM plus C. Start there. It makes your cells permeable. See, type 2 diabetes is a problem with the cells becoming leathery, and therefore it's called insulin resistance. What that means is you're producing enough insulin, it can't get in the cell to lower your blood sugar. So what the MSM does is over a period of 90 to 120 days, it makes the cells permeable so fluids, nutrition, oxygen, and hormones can get in the cell, and insulin is a hormone. So step 1, MSM plus C, watch your energy level go back to where it was when you was 10 to 15 years younger in just 3 to 5 weeks. Watch the acid reflux, indigestion, heartburn disappear. No more Rolaids, Tums, Prilosec, or Prevacid. And then the sugar shocker. Folks, this product right here, we called it Sugar Shocker because it literally not only helps the pancreas produce more insulin, it has been shown, the herbs in here have been shown to help your body produce more beta islet cells, which produce insulin, and then all the other ingredients are to protect what? Your circulation, so you don't get neuropathy, your kidneys, so you don't get kidney failure, your vision, so that you don't lose your sight as you age. They say, she says in that book, that the average diabetic will live 17 years less time than they would if they just prevented it or took care of themselves like they're supposed to. So if you're diabetic, the answer is yes, we can help you. All you got to do is get in touch with us at Herbs and More, any of the locations.
And 10% off on Wednesdays. But now, can people come in and I know last night you were doing a special thing for some folks that we know. You did a smoking
hypnosis.
You don't do a lot of that, but I've seen you hypnotize 80 people at one time and do a good job at it. When most people come in, what are their problems? What are their symptoms? And what are they asking you or Seth?
Well, that's what I like for people to do. We love for them to come in and talk to us, because when you do, we're going to sit down with you and we're going to ask you what your diagnosis is from the doctor. We don't diagnose anybody. That's not our job. You go to the doctor, you get a diagnosis, then come in and explain to us what they're wanting you to do, and we'll show you how to do it naturally. Did you know almost every drug on the market was actually thought of and put together synthetically based on natural things that had already been used to treat their symptoms? People don't realize you do it naturally without any of the negative side effects of drugs. And believe me, drugs are dangerous. They are dangerous. Another thing you do as a diabetic is do the portion pill. The portion pill. Y'all know it is Dieter's Delight. It
Y'all
is a
still
portion
selling that?
pill. Oh my goodness. So, we can't hardly keep it. This portion pill, and the reason we're starting to call it that is everybody that comes to us says, you know why you lose weight on this? You eat less. I'm telling you, the only reason we're fat, overweight, and
Wished I'd taken 3 of them last night before I ate that pot roast.
You don't take it before you eat, you take this after you. But it really, they're telling us it just cuts the portions down. And remember, the French eat the same foods we eat, 3 times more pork, 4 times more fat. They have almost no type 2 diabetes, almost no obesity, and half the heart disease because their portions are half the size of ours. That's all it boils down to. With this product, everybody says that's what it does. It gives the ability to eat less. So if you want to lose weight and keep it off permanently, the only way to do it is to create the habit of eating about half as much, and this pill makes that so easy. It's
so Roy's closed on Monday.
We are closed on Monday.
So you get 30% off on Tuesday, month of September only.
That's right.
Thank you.
And y'all gonna try to make it back tomorrow.
We'll be here in the morning.
Hey, hook that thing up and drag it over here with you in the morning. We'll plug it up and we'll ride that thing.
I'm not going to do that. I'll be here.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. I think Don Simons, we wait on him to get here this morning from Simon's Jewelry over in Huntsville. He should be outside right now. Maybe he ain't smoking no more.
He better not.
So we'll come back. We'll take a look back at me in almost 60 years in TV business.
Oh, we are?
That 40.
That ought to be interesting.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
boy.
Y'all hang on.